Morning, my friends. This morning, I've been hearing lately a lot about the protests in Hong Kong and generally in other places around China. I'd like to speak unscripted this morning about China, my personal opinion of what's going on out there in China, and also how it has affected Tibet. And I'd like to maybe limit my video to 10 minutes because I know a lot of people out there don't have a lot of time to watch the videos. But my friends, I think these are some important points to bring out, and that even American citizens should support and speak highly of the protesters that are protesting there in China. And I'll speak about that in just a minute. I just wanted to kind of just lay the foundation of what I was going to say. And do it unscripted so that it's real. It's not me reading something off of a piece of paper, some speech that I've memorized. It's just going to be uncut and to the point. Now, what we see now going on in China are the people of China beginning to stand up for their rights. In times past, China was not a communist Marxist nation. In the past, the old Chinese way, and the way that people in China, which were also a diverse people, they had their territories, much like the United States had territories, or before the United States government, when it was going back to the time of the people that are Native Americans. There were also divided territories, and they were usually run by people that were shaman, or you could think of them as generals, and there was honor and respect and codes that were followed within territories, so that it was divided. It was divided, but it was still honorable. What you see now in China is that it's not divided anymore. It's just one big lump of red nation that is a communist nation that is falsely telling other people and places that they could come and liberate them. The falseness that they did in Tibet, which will not go unanswered for very much longer. I believe that the only hope for the Chinese people are the people of China, and the people of China are a great number. In times past, when dynasties and wicked kingdoms and governments did evil against the people of the past, there was war. All the way back to the time of three kingdoms, and before that, there was war. Because people, first of all, the Chinese people are not people that take very well to oppression. The Chinese government, however, is a handful of crooks that have illegally occupied Tibet for far too long, while the world sits back and sees that Tibet is suffering. Why has no military been put in Tibet, where instead the United States government sends troops to foreign soil, to Iraq, and trying to secure oil deals and these sorts of things for corporations, and using military for stuff that is inappropriate, instead of letting the military go to other lands like Tibet and help free them from oppression, from a wicked government, a wicked Chinese government that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're breaking international laws. And what does the UN do about it? What is the UN even for? I mean, I know that a lot of you, my subscribers, must be wondering, what are they doing? And I've seen a whole lot of stuff on Twitter about, different groups and bodies of people that are supportive of Tibet and supportive of the people of China. And I'll tell you what, the people of China are not, meant to be slaves. They're meant to be respected, and respected by their government, as anyone else would be respected by their government in a republic. The reason that I think republics have failed in the past is because they just don't work hard enough to keep the people happy and keep the people approving of the government. There's only a handful of those Chinese crooks that are doing the evil to the Chinese people, the people of China. And your numbers, I would tell you, and speaking directly to you now, people of China, your numbers outnumber these crooks by such a big number that they cannot possibly stop you if you all act together in unison to remove that government and start what you want, an independency. A rebel independency is what basically gave birth to democracy. And although democracy has failed us in being able to bring about all the ideals of the Declaration of Independence, it was upon the Declaration of Independence that democracy was even thought of. And although it fails now today to honor the Declaration of Independence, because there's still Republicans and republic-minded people that want to keep this country from being able to move forward by keeping their corporations making money and making other people sick. And the middle class just keeps running on the hamster wheel, if you will, the hamster wheel, and just barely able to make ends meet and only barely able to survive. And you got the power companies, the electric companies that won't let the technology get to the American citizens that have 0-point energy, to where the energy could be free and they don't have to pay anymore, and those corporations get put out of business. But realistically, what's going on in China with the corporations is that their industrial machine has gotten so big that it's straining the people. They have little kids working inside of sweatshops and people that are just being strained to the max because of their demands with that industrial poison that's being poured into the air, along with nuclear plants and just stuff that is dangerous to human life. So now that China has occupied Tibet for all these many years, I feel that those wicked people in the government of China who are oppressing, molesting, raping, beating, corrupting, and harming Tibetans, I think that now that they have gotten so bold in what they've been doing to these people, that they think that they can do it to their own people, the people of China. Let me tell you something about the people of China. In the past, as I said before, back to the oldest dynasty, and even before there was any writing on bones, it's called the Oracle Bone Script, before there was any writing ever put on a turtle shell or any bones of any animal, the people of China were an honorable people. They had lived by codes that were codes of warlords and various different generals that they respected one another, and if there was no respect, then there was war immediately until somebody won and someone else lost. And what we have nowadays with this evil Chinese government that exists in this century is that they have allured people, they have manipulated people, including Tibet in the past, when they would trade daughters with the princes, and each prince that would bring a daughter from their bloodline to marry into the Tibetan bloodline. And so through subtle manipulation, they have taken away even the monks' right to declare war. And we serve in life just by being. We have a spirit deity, if you will, a great spirit that is a spirit of love. But also there's an appropriate time for resistance, war, and fighting if it's necessary. And the only way you can gain freedom in such a hostile environment is by fighting and dying. Because the evil that is being put against you all in Tibet is complete wickedness. And it's a shame that the world has turned away its face and not faced it. We live in a day where big governments send military of United States citizens, and when they sign up for the military, they're being put on missions to secure other people's oil resources, other people's natural riches in their own native lands. And that is why the Middle Easterns fight. They fight all the time. Back to the time of Saladin, when the Crusaders and the wickedness of the Templars tried to fool the world into thinking that they were the ones who were supposed to have Jerusalem, when that is not so. Nor is it so that they own anything down into the Negev desert, where the native ancestor of all the natives that are there now, his name was Ishmael, and that is his kingdom and territory, the Southlands. The desert includes the Negev desert, all the way down into the footsteps of the Ethiopians, past the Sudan. So when people say these, evil remarks like, "Oh well, why should we be concerned about China?" China has become the most dangerous and evil of one of the most evil governments on the face of this planet. They are communists. They are murdering people, torturing people. If anyone tries to express their rights, they are harming the people, and they are doing complete sick wickedness against Tibet. Now, in all their errors, in the errors of the Chinese government to this day, they've become so bold that they, once again, as I said before, they feel like they can treat the people of China like they've been treating the people in Tibet. This is my question now to the people of China. How long are you going to allow that handful of bad apples to rule over you with the fist of unfairness and the fist of stone? Why are you going to allow them to continue to do evil against you when your numbers outnumber them? Almost what would seem to be nearly 1,000,000 to 1. I do not believe that the Chinese people will stay silent. I believe that someday they will stand up again as their forefathers did and fight against the evil that's going on there. And because of it, if you would become in touch with the spirit of freedom, people of China, I call to you to remember your ancestors, because they fought in brave fashion against the evil that existed in China in the past generation. And they fought because they thought that a republic would give them freedom, although it has failed them and has not given them freedom, because I'm telling you that the Declaration of Independence comes only through proper rebellion, and the rebellion that is called for to happen when people rebel against oppression and wickedness. So that is what I tell you today. Just one single American citizen, just to tell you that I support you, people of China, to stand up for your rights and to resist and to keep on doing so until you oust all those evil people from your government, and to set up a government that rules over you and be as you were in the past times, divided for the sake of honor instead of in unison for the sake of shame and for the sake of oppression by a handful of people that think that they rule the whole world. They must serve the people. That is what leaders do, is serve people and help make life and humanity better. So I've leaving this with you this morning, people of China, and I will do another video in a few moments about the specifics of the people of Tibet. I appreciate you taking time to listen to me, my friends and subscribers, and I will talk to you again in the future if I'm able. Thanks a lot.